But today was bad. Light work, people. Light work. Seems we're soft all over the pitch. Ravi.
What's happening? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Grizz. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. Happy New Year to everyone that subscribed to our channel and liked our shows. Hope you're all doing well. We just thought we'd do one of those just off the cuff little chats, man. I don't know about you guys that are already in the chat. First and foremost, welcome everyone. Hope you guys have had a wonderful festive period. Avi, I've told you this before as well, right? So it's coming up to what, midnight UK time. I can't sleep before a Chelsea game, man. It doesn't matter.
Only Chelsea?
Yeah.
Well, I know your sleeping pattern's messed up as it is, because I think you got home, at 4 or 5 in the morning last night anyway.
I didn't ask you to tell my personal stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you a personal story.
Why are you telling my personal? Why are you telling everyone what time I come home?
You don't sleep anyway.
What I eat when I come home? Like which pajamas, what color pajamas I wear. Like people, I don't want you to.
I don't know. But I don't know this theory about you can't sleep before a game. Like, what are you like? Okay, we've heard that Klopp's out today with COVID, so Pep Linders will take over reins tomorrow. But I don't know what's this business that you can't sleep. Like,
Okay. Well, first of all, we're gonna sort of read out some messages from people. Everyone's saying wishing us Happy New Year, and we're wishing them back as well. People are like me, man. Look at this. People are shitting themselves, man. It is what it is. Thank you very much, brother. Happy New Year, guys, to you as well. All the regulars are in the chat already. See, so there's a lot of people. Yes, my friend, we're going to discuss that as well.
It's the nerves. Mohammed Farouk says it's the nerves. I get it, it's the nerves, but...
No, but you see, you often tell me, right, that there's no such thing as nerves for you. What do you mean by that?
Like, I won't over-assess or overthink about the game before I go to bed a night before. Like, I know it's a big game tomorrow. It's practically, if we draw or lose tomorrow, then the title's practically over. And I hate saying that. I'm not being defeatist. I just think a 10-point lead now that City have.
But isn't that reason to be nervous?
Yeah, I think there is, Grizz, but... Do
you get where I'm coming from then?
No, I do. I do get where you're coming from, but you're saying, like, I can't sleep. Like, it shouldn't ruin your sleeping pattern. It is a game to be nervous about. It's a game... I think it's going to be a fascinating game. I really think that we're going to see two teams, and I genuinely think Chelsea will come out a little bit as well than the style that we're used to with Tuchel. Do you want to read that? Yeah.
Arrogant 123 says, "Hi Grizz and Av, big fan of your channel. We're humbled. To be honest, I think it's a good thing Klopp will be watching the game like us. He can see the game like we do and could be a blessing. Hit the like. Definitely hit the like." Do you see an angle where he's coming from with that? Like he'll be different from Klopp watching it from the comfort of his home, we're assuming.
I still think he'll be charged and emotional as ever when he's watching it on the sofa or wherever we'll be watching it, and his wife's probably telling him to calm down. So I think he will still have that energy and emotion. But yeah, I think everyone knows that you see the game differently. Like, you've been to Anfield a few times this season, Grizz, and you've been away as well to Spurs and on your travels as well to Brentford, I think, as well, and Norwich. And I think you see, you talk about the game differently when you're on the drive home and I see the game differently as well. And we have different views. I'm like, no, because I think that worked better. But you said no, but because I watched it live, these are what I thought. So I think you do watch the game differently. And who knows, Klopp might feel that he needs to make a few changes when he's watching the game live on the TV going forward. But I think, the energy and his whole demeanor will be the same as if he was on the touchline.
So look, what do we know? We know Klopp's definitely out. Klopp's definitely tested positive, absolute zero symptoms. But because they've got this system where they have to be tested every single day, every morning of training, it's pretty much a lottery, isn't it? You can have no symptoms, absolutely show no sign of illness or nothing. And I think that's been the case with our boys so far. So Fabinho had it, Virgil had it.
Yeah. Thiago's had it again.
Thiago's had it. but none of the lads have shown any symptoms. So what they had to do was follow the protocol of isolation and then come straight to training, back to training and ready for selection. So it's not as though they're suffering or from symptoms per se. Klopp's not going to be there tomorrow. We know that for sure. Naveed says Linders is a capable understudy. This is his chance to prove that he can take over from Klopp. I'm confident we can still win. I'm absolutely confident we can still win. But what do you think about that first part of that chat?
No, I don't think it's his chance to prove that he can take over from Klopp, because it's one game and it's the game that they already would have planned for it, prior to tomorrow. So obviously the plan's in place, the way we're going to be structured, the way we're going to set out. It's still Klopp's, Kravitz's, and Linders' sort of like ethos on how they want to set up the team. I don't think it has any bearing whether Pep Linders is fit for the job once Klopp retires. I just think it's his chance. Just I think Linders will be under pressure, but I think he'll enjoy it as well. Like he's going to be. Haven't we done this before though? Wasn't there a manager? Who was the guy, Grizz, in the League Cup when we had to go to the Club World Championship, and then we played Villa when we lost, but we played the youngsters. There's a man, but it was still Liverpool Football Club that played, not like an academy 11 or whatnot.
We've done it a couple of times. He's taken over a couple of times, but nothing of this magnitude.
Magnitude, yeah, and I don't think it's a chance to prove he can take over. That's up to Klopp and the board when it comes to 2024, whether Linders is capable to to take the job over Klopp.
A lot of people were fans of Pep, man, including myself. But it's a massive state, isn't it? It's a massive step up. Sorry,
big up Ali, because it was Neil Critchley who's at Blackpool now. So he's got it right. But Chris, don't you think some number twos are suited to being number two?
Number twos,
like Steve McLaren, that Carlos Queiroz guy.
Yeah,
Brian. I think Pep Linders the same. As a number two, he's fantastic. When he becomes manager, because he did have a stint in the Dutch league. I don't know who it was, but they narrowly missed out on the league.
Shout out to Rikesh as well. Thank you very much.
Some number twos are good as number twos. So
how about well, look at the examples that we've had. Roy Evans a number two?
Roy Evans was part of the boot room, and then assistant to Souness. No, he was, and then he took over.
Yeah. So look, even though we had a brilliant team, brilliant squad, he didn't do brilliantly for Liverpool. I'm trying to think of famous number twos. Look at didn't Jose Mourinho's number two have a spell at managing?
That Faria guy. I'm not sure. And well, Andres Villas-Boas was that setup, wasn't he? So Villas-Boas was a manager. Brendan Rodgers was part of his first stint, set up like a part of the coaches in the academy level, I believe. There's shout outs. Zidane was a number two.
Was Zidane a number two? Who was Zidane number two for?
I think he was a number two, Zidane. I think he was. I'm not sure if this was during Ancelotti's first stint at Real Madrid.
I suppose he's the most famous number two to ever make it, isn't he? Mourinho.
Yeah, and under Bobby Robson as well. Well, he's a translator for him, wasn't he, at the time?
But yeah, look, I don't think it's a trial at all for Pep, in the sense to trial to see if he's, going to be Jurgen Klopp's successor. But it's interesting still. Like, as I said, I could listen to that guy talk for years, Avi. Like, how you could listen to me, right? And you do listen to me. Like,
yeah, I do listen to him,
right? Yeah. I could listen to Pep Linders talk for hours. Like, when he holds a press conference, I'm absolutely enthralled in what he's saying. I'm not enthralled. What's the word, people, I'm looking for? In awe. I'm in awe of, like,
he speaks
so much pearls of wisdom come from his mouth. The analogies he gives.
Wasn't he the one who said our intensity is our identity? I'm pretty sure Pep Linders said that.
Absolutely.
And look, see, these are what we mean. Look, Shaz Hussain says, Avi, are you Grizz's number two? Yeah, exactly. I am Grizz's number two. I'm probably more of a Steve McLaren than a Tito Villanova. But yeah.
Miles says Grizz so arrogant, man. Love it, man. Come on, man. I'm joking, man.
He actually isn't. If you hear him off screen, he's one of the most humble people that you know. I'm not kissing his ass either. Yeah.
He is. Avi's my number one, brother. Come on, Shaz. You know better than that. Avi's my number one. My idol.
But I do want to ask you something, Grizz. I know you've got super chat, but I want to ask you something. Last 48 hours, I'm not sure. I did tune into your show with Matisse, Big K, and Jam that you had. Great show on Thursday. But this Lukaku business. We've heard different transcripts from Fabrizio Romano. Then we heard the true transcript, which was a video interview that he did. Do you think it's a bit of what do they call it, hot smoke and air, or is it hot air, or do you think there is a bit of? Do you
So
think
the
there is
first.
a little bit
So
of
give me the
something to
first.
it?
Give me the. Tell me. Let's repeat. We all. Everyone in the chat. There's nearly 200 of us. Yeah.
It should have been
We
hot
all
air.
want. We all want you to
Smoke and air.
revert.
Hot
We all
smoke
want.
and air.
We
Is
want you
it
to
hot
repeat your
smoke
first.
and air, or is it hot air?
Hot smoke in here. Oh Lord. Everyone in the chat wants to know what you meant by hot smoke in the air.
Hot
People,
smoke
do
and
we
air.
want
No,
to
it's
know
hot
what
air.
Abby
It's hot
means
air.
by is there hot smoke in the air? Put the drink. Look, I think the phrase that you're looking for, there's no smoke without fire. And I think you got a bit.
No. Hot air is a quote as well. Is it? Do you think it's a bit of hot air, or do you think there's substance to what?
So look,
I'm trying to say.
So look, there is substance to it, right? He's obviously done an interview, and he's done it himself. So he's gone to Italian media and done an interview, and naturally they're going to ask him about his time at Chelsea. So he A, should be prepared for it. B, he should absolutely know what he's going to say to respond to certain questions. Or C, even suggest to the Italian media, certain things I'm not going to touch upon. Certain things I'm not going to speak on. He didn't do none of that, have he? So he's going to get stick. So he got asked, how's your time been at Chelsea? He was too honest in that, saying that, well, I'm not very happy at the moment. The manager's changed the way we play. You know what I mean? But fair play to him. You know what I mean? But then he did add, I need to work a bit harder. Yeah, I need to get adjusted to the system. But I can't say I'm happy here. And then he said, I love it.
Did he say I'm not happy, or did he say that, like, you know, that the manager has changed the system, which isn't to my liking, but I'm a grafter and I won't give up? And then he said he'd like to go back to Inter, but at a level where he still can compete at the highest level.
He did say that.
He didn't say that, oh, I want to leave, right? I mean, no player in his right mind. You'd have to be stupid to say that straight away. But we've seen this at United as well, when he was made out to be a scapegoat when Mourinho was in charge. He does have a tendency to say the wrong things at the wrong time, doesn't he, Lukaku, Chris?
So look, he does. He has got a reputation of, what's the reputation? Reputation of having a slight ego. Reputation of sort of, talking too much to media when things are not going right. I mean, me and you have given him a lot of praise for his time in Chelsea. Inter.
Yeah.
But everything was going smoothly. Mm-hmm. If we look at the time of the clubs where he's been, where things have not gone wrong, he has been known to jump ship, things turn sour in terms of media and managers. So there is that side to him. He had, without doubt, fitness issues at United. And then it was very interesting, Avi, what Tactical Tommy said afterwards when he was asked about him. Mm-hmm. They said, what does Jurgen Klopp, what does Lukaku need to do to get back in your good books or whatever? He said, sleep, train, play, sleep, recover, train, sleep, train, play. And don't speak to media. What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Well, I don't know. Is he known to have a bit of a nightlife, going out? Is he playing these computer games that so many young footballers, well, not, I say young, he's about 28, 29 now, but that they associate themselves with all this Fortnite. It could be a lifestyle that he needs to change. But you would think that after 2 years at Inter, he was on his way, and
you would think Conte's absolutely drilled him into being a professional elite athlete.
And entering your peak years as well. He's still
entering his peak years. He was supposed to come back to the Premier League. And look, first and foremost, I think he's a bit premature. We're having a go at him because he's Lukaku, the other side. We want him to be crap. But it is a bit premature, right? Because look, he's done well. He's done okay. He still scored goals.
Yeah, he's been injured as well.
So we're not writing him off.
But I think, Grizz, you know what? He's got that tag of, he doesn't need to prove himself in the Premiership because he scored goals at Everton, West Brom, even at United.
I think he does have to score.
No, he needs to prove himself at Chelsea, because I think that was a bit sour, that the way he left and the way they didn't give him a chance really. And he was still young, and they had Drogba, and he was supposed to be that next transition from Drogba to Lukaku. I think there's a little bit of that still in his mind that, yeah, no, I've got to prove myself. You're saying he still probably has to prove himself in the Premiership. That's fair, but he's a
I
talented.
think so. I mean, people let us know in the chat. Does Jurgen? Why am I keep saying Jurgen Klopp? He's on my mind because
He's on your mind, so you can't see. You've got Jurgen behind you, the shrine.
the biggest dog's not going to be there tomorrow. It's playing on me, man. It's going to be so unreal. In a game of this magnitude, we're not going to have Jurgen Klopp on the sideline. Avi, do you know now why I'm so nervous and sleep and no sleep? Like he's like, okay, Pep Linders for cup games and whatnot, and fine. This is a make or break in our title season, as far as I'm concerned. What I mean by that is, if we don't win, it's break. If we win, the fight goes on.
And that's it. Yeah, of course, because look, 19 games in, and win tomorrow. There's plenty of fight left in there, providing that we win the other game in hand. Then it comes down to 6. Lose or draw tomorrow, Grizz, you're catching up. And at this early stage, look, as a spectacle, you don't want the Premiership to be literally like a foregone conclusion in the first week of January. No one wants that. No neutral fan out there wants the Premiership to be done and dusted in January. You don't. You want it to be you want your clubs to make a fist of it, just for media coverage, for all for as a spectacle, as the Premiership.
Spectacle, man. As for our excitement,
it is dubbed the best league in the world, and you don't want it to become like the Bundesliga of the past or the Scottish Premiership of the past, where Celtic were dominating Rangers, and now we're seeing City just dominate. I mean, there's talk today that the money that they got from Ferran Torres is going towards Haaland in the summer. Like, there is no stopping their spending. I get that, and we work in different ways, just as other clubs do. We don't have the riches of City, but you don't want the league to be done and dusted in the first week of January, because it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit anyone at all.
Can you just read that in the super chat while I make a couple of guys that I've seen in the chat?
Ramiz Khalil, who's a regular listener and a regular contributor, so thank you. Happy New Year. Not looking forward for tomorrow. Think it's the Champions League and Cups for us, unless a miracle happens. Even C19 and the refs are helping City. Any news for Jan? I think he means maybe any transfer news in January.
Outgoings, yes. I'd say Nat Phillips is absolutely dead nailed on to leave.
Nico Williams, Grizz, will we entertain a bid of?
No, not in January. No, I don't think Nico Williams is up for sale in January. Especially after his last couple of performances. I think he's nailed on to start against Wednesday against Arsenal in the League Cup. Yeah, I can't see any incomings. Obviously, that Canadian youngster. Can you speak on that Canadian youngster?
Mahili Rati, I think that's his name. He's been training with the club, I think, in early December, and it looks as if we are favourites to sign him. He has played actually in the MLS with Toronto FC, and he's a big talent with a few people that I've spoken to. So let's see, he's 17 years old. He's, I think, predominantly left-footed, but he's quite comfortable on his right. But yeah, let's see. I think that deal will be done. And there's other youngsters. I think there's a Fulham youngster, Grizz, I did mention. I think Luke Harris, 16-year-old from Fulham, supposed to be a talent. We're in talks with, I don't think Fulham, but his representatives. I'm pretty sure it's his family members, because he's yet to sign a professional deal. Obviously, he's 16 at Fulham, but we're on his trail as well.
There's another Fulham youngster that we're very much interested in. Help me out, guys. Oh, my mind's gone blank. It might come back to me. No, it's something. Is it Bobby? He's a forward, young forward, plays out wide.
They've got Bobby Reid, who's a right back, so it's not him.
No, it's not Bobby Reid.
Just on the Arsenal game now, because
here we go.
Javier Carvalho. Oh, okay. Yes. Javier Carvalho. He's the front three winger, isn't he? But he's been good since last summer, maybe even, Grizz.
What was that super chat from Shaq? Here we go. Big up, having Grizz. Unsure about tomorrow. Stop about the sad faces. We don't need sad faces. Big up yourself, Shaq. I know you probably just woke up.
Positivity.
I know you just woke up, but we don't need sad faces. Come on, cheer
just
up.
Just in the Arsenal game now, irrelevant of tomorrow's result, or say we draw tomorrow.
Oh, we are playing Thursday against Arsenal. Oh, I thought it was Wednesday.
So just on the Arsenal game, do we go big now, Grizz? Semi-final.
I think we go fair. I think. Well, what's big for us? So look, we'll discuss that. First, let's talk about tomorrow. I know you like skipping subjects, and I'm not going to let you skip
I'm just
on.
asking you a question.
Move on. Yeah, but why are you moving on so quickly, swiftly? No Jurgen Klopp, no Thiago. When does Thiago become a serious discussion?
You know what?
You know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, and I tell you, I tell you why, because I was on Twitter, and I want to give you a list of games that he's missed.
Very quickly, Shaq says, thank you for the super chat. When's Elliot returning? FSG won't buy new players. Elliot is returning to training in the next 2 weeks with the full team. Sorry, go on.
All right. I just want to go over some games that he's missed. So since he's been at the club 2021 season, right? He missed Arsenal at home, Man City away, Leicester at home, Spurs at home, all 6 Champions League group games, and the Real Madrid both legs. Now, I know, and we should know, that injury that was sustained by Richarlison was a nasty injury. That could have been a leg breaker, season ender, right? So he came back and ultimately played a big part in us getting top 4. Now, this season, Grizz, these are the games that he's missed. If I give you the opposition games that he's missed, it is quite damning, right? So Chelsea at home. No, he came on against Chelsea at home, didn't he? So he came on against Chelsea at home. Milan at home, Man City at home. Atletico away, United away, Atletico at home, Spurs away, Leicester away. Now it seemingly seems as though he's away for the Chelsea game as well.
Look at this brilliant comment from not okay, that's a brilliant comment as well, but that's not the one I wanted. So Saeed, you got a shout out there for free. Read this out, or do you want me to read it?
Jeremiah B, Happy New Year to you too. Thiago has had this his whole career. It didn't cost Bayern because they dominate their league. Only needed for Champions League.
Now, I see the point here. Bayern Munich were in a league where they weren't going toe to toe with one of the Premier League's finest ever teams in Man City and the coach. Obviously, Bayern had Pep himself, but you know what I mean in terms of it was Bayern Munich easily walking away with that league. So the margin of error week in, week out wasn't as low as it is here. So Thiago could be relaxed, rested, injured, whatever, and just played in a few select games.
They had the squad as well, Grizz. They had the squad. I mean, look at the cover that Bayern Munich have. They had a brilliant squad of 24, 25 players. We unfortunately don't. When Thiago goes missing, we replace him with, a Naby maybe or a Knox maybe, and it's not the same, obviously, in terms of quality. And in the German league, it's a little bit. It's not as strenuous as the Premiership because Premiership teams, A to Z. I mean, barring the Norwiches and maybe like the Newcastles, it's a tough league. There are tough games that we play in. It is strenuous. It does take a lot on the body. And Thiago, Grizz, apart from the Richarlison, he does break down. He does break down with niggas. But we knew this. When we signed a player at 29, and look, when Thiago was made available and, you said, look, Thiago's pretty much done. It's a player who had just done the treble with Bayern Munich. Who wouldn't be interested in a 29-year-old of Thiago's ilk? So we signed him. But we know, and everyone that watches football around the world knows that Thiago always had niggling injuries. Now, coming to the Premiership, it's not an easier league than the Bundesliga.
It's going to get more intense. Your body's going to suffer more.
And on top of that, Grizz, Klopp's training methods, the preseason that Klopp puts the players through, they are big, tough workouts, the double sessions in France in preseason. So I don't know where we sit with Thiago. I mean, he's a player that I love, but it's a player that we can't rely on. So this begs the question, and I'll ask you the question. Should we have signed a midfielder last summer then? When there were options, we were given options. Okay, there was Florian, not everyone's choice. Yves Bissouma was available. 40 million is what Brighton. His agent had a gentleman's agreement with the board of Brighton that he could go for 40 million, 35 to 40 million. There are other midfielders out there, Dennis Zacharias, but other ball-playing midfielders, similar to a bit like Thiago, the way he sort of, is a central midfielder.
I think. Look, let me just read. Ronaldinho Goats just adamant that he wants to be negative today. What's the matter, man? Come on, bro. We appreciate the super chat. 2 games we lost. Oxhendo midfield, no coincidence. How about the games we won with Oxhendo? Is that a coincidence then, bro? Come on, man. We've lost literally. You just said 2 games with Oxenhendo. We've won numerous games, including huge semi-finals with Ox and Hendo in midfield as well. So come on, let's be fair. You know, it is what it is, man. You can lose games of football. I agree they're not my favorite combination in midfield, but we can't single out individual players, in my humble opinion. But obviously, we appreciate the super chat. We appreciate your opinion. You know, I mean, it's always good to air it on here. But look, yes, Thiago, we knew the situation with him. I agree with you. I also think it was one of the few rare occasions where I think Klopp overruled, or Klopp ruled the roost in terms of disregarding the analytical team, disregarding what they suggested, what they must have thought. Because there's no way the analytical team decides to go for a 29-year-old on the back of the injury record, on the back of everything. I think it just made financial sense. I think it made payment structurally sense. I think it made sense of bringing another born winner into the squad, helping the likes of Elliott and Jones come through. The wonderful technician he is, all that. I think it, as you said, it makes sense to say, no way can we disregard Thiago. But as you also said or asked, but do we still sign another reliable genie type?
His Wi-Fi's gone.
My Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's better. That's better now. Okay, you stopped frame there.
Oh, relax, relax. Sabr.
I was worried. I was worried that I had to.
Don't worry. Don't worry. If I go, you're here. Able deputy. Don't panic. Never panic.
Steve McLaren.
Yeah, but that's it. I think, I think we should have. I think, and I said it. I think we've gambled again in terms of. But what I said was, I think it's a calculated gamble, and I can see the sense to it. As opposed, we couldn't see the sense in not bringing a centre back, right?
Yeah.
The season before.
Well, yeah, when Fabinho was.
We couldn't see the sense. No, we couldn't see. Yeah, we couldn't see the sense in that. But we could. I could anyway. I'm not going to speak for you. We'll let everyone else have their say. We couldn't. I could see the sense in thinking, Gini out, yeah, Thiago already in, and then Ox, Naby, Curtis Jones minutes to cover Gini's. More progressive central midfielders, more players that have been injured, but sort of we're hoping and expecting the work the fitness team have done to have its effect. Oh God, have we got the thing? I need to slow the chat.
We had a slow mode.
I didn't have it today, innit? But let's see. But yeah, look, that's just my opinion. I think, I think, and obviously the progression. And I know some people say it was more luck than Harvey Elliott.
No, not hold on. I tell you why. Because you've named Naby and Ox, right? Players in the last 3 years that can't be relied on. They can't be relied on. So, okay, we're getting Thiago in, who's got a few injuries to his name, right? Who does break down in seasons that he's played with Bayern, yeah? And then you've got Ox and Naby. Surely then we've got to assess that before we pull the trigger on Thiago, knowing that Gini was entering his last year, something's gone wrong there because you've got 4 players there. Gini, just because I'm putting Gini in there because he's got his last year of the contract. You've got 3 players there that can't be relied on.
Yeah, I agree. Based on last season or the seasons before.
Then we're relying on Fabinho, Hendo, who's had his breakdown in injuries. So I'm going to put him on that list. So Fabinho, who's had breakdowns in every season that he's played with, he's missed 5 or 6 weeks of the season. And then you've got a 36-year-old Milner that we're relying on. So obviously there was an issue. And then, okay, Curtis Jones is 20 years old, still learning his craft, learning his trade. Still has to mature as a midfielder. And then you got Harvey Elliott this season, who, yes, first 4 games, he impressed everyone. I totally get that. Unfortunately, he gets injured. So we were lacking a combative midfielder, weren't we? Last summer that, we should have pulled the trigger on.
Yes, I agree. But as I said, I could see more sense. I could see, sense is not the word, logic. I could see more logic in not buying a central midfielder based on what I've said in terms of hoping, and it is hope. You go into a situation with injuries that you've had beforehand in terms of the fitness people behind the scenes have done the work, and fair play to them. Naby and Ox have been available. Don't you think? Ox hasn't been injured.
Oxford's been good, and I think, but
Let me try to put this on slow mode while you take hold the full.
we had a missed super chat from Ramiz Khalil, which I
Go
will
check it out.
Okay. Just 1 minute. I'm so gutted for today's loss. So Dhruv Patel, Happy New Year. He's an Arsenal fan. We outplayed City. I thought Arsenal first half were magnificent. That quartet of Odegaard, Lacazette, Saka, and Martinelli. I thought you guys were absolutely brilliant. Second half, Grizz, do you want to touch upon the?
I'm busy in it. Can you carry on? Can you talk for like 2 minutes? Normally you talk for hours and hours and hours. I'm telling you to hold the full for 5 minutes.
I don't want you to say you're losing track by talking about another game when we're talking about the two.
I'm making my brother's mods, innit?
Okay.
Just relax a little
bit. No, I thought Arsenal were brilliant. I thought Martinelli, he was brilliant for that first 45. Should have scored in the second half, that chance. But again, that chance, why is Stuart Atwell coming? Why is he blocking his path? I mean, it's an easy chance that he should take with his left foot. But why does he take his path? And the penalty shout, I thought the Odegaard should have been a penalty. I don't know how VAR said that wasn't a clear penalty, because if you look at the slow-mo and you look at the real angle, he actually takes Odegaard before Edison takes out Odegaard before he takes out the ball. So that should have been a penalty. And then you've got the incident on their end when Bernardo Silva gets the penalty. Oh, absolutely! I thought it was a shocking decision. Absolutely shocking decision. And then obviously City get that late winner. This, Mahrez gets his goal, and then you've got Rodri who takes who gets the win. And Rodri's I want to actually ask the panel a question of what they've thought of Rodri this season. So all the viewers on the show tonight who have tuned in, who have listened in, I want you to give me a view on Rodri, because I think he's had a really good season. And Grizz, I think you're in the same boat as me, aren't you, where you think he has been a top performer this season. So if people want to tell us if we're wrong, or what they think of Rodri this season, that would be great. And yeah, look, I don't want to keep mentioning about Stuart Atwell and VAR, because it's a regular occurrence, and it's really starting to, just really tie me down now with
I've made my feelings very clear.
Yeah, and I don't want to waste time, because it is what it is. They're not going to learn. We're still going to get issues with
No, I'm
VAR.
talking about Rodri, man. I'm talking about Rodri.
Sorry.
Can you listen when I speak?
Well, you said take over, so I'm taking over. What do you mean to do?
I know you're taking over, but you're not listening.
Well, we should screenshot this, because there's a few people I want to pick a bone with, because everyone's saying Rodri is a beast. Rodri's goal was City's first open play.
Well, look, Rodri. I don't think he splits opinion. I was going to say may split opinion, but look, we've got a couple of group chats that we're in, WhatsApp chats, and we had a nice little lively debate about sort of Rodri and how good he's been or how good he is. And I think there's a camp, certain of our brothers that said Rodri is overrated. Rodri is not one of the best in Europe. I disagree. I mean, look, it is opinions, it is subjective. I think Rodri's a brilliant DM. I genuinely believe that. Isa with a super chat says, very positive performance, so proud of the team today, but nervous for the Liverpool game as Gabriel will be suspended. And that's true. I think Arsenal 100% would have played a far stronger team against us in the semi-final, because of the fact that they've got a cup game and then they've got Spurs, which is about 10 days later or something like that, 7 days later. So, but yeah, look, going back to the Rodri chat, I mean, I think it's the chat's unanimous in saying that Rodri is a fantastic player. I don't know if you've seen anyone say he's not, so we can bring that as well up as well.
This is a great comment, and this was a really important last ditch, because that was Fabs would have scored that. Remember Shaq again, remember Rodri's last-ditch tackle to Fab's shot at Anfield. Yeah, look, I think he's had a good season. I think he's been one of the better performers for City this season. He pins them together like a DM should do. But he pushes up as well. He's not just like a deep lying midfielder as well. He pushes up so they get more position and they really hound the opposition. But no, he's a good player for me, Grizz.
Again, Jeremiah with a brilliant comment. Pep knows how to make a world-class six. I mean, just look at the two he's mentioned before him. What he did
with Lahm, Grizz.
So first and foremost, Rodri's not in the Busquets and Kimmich league yet, in my opinion.
25, he's 25, isn't it?
And I was just going to say, you made a very brilliant point in the chat earlier, in the WhatsApp chat, where you said he's only 25. And the best DMs that we've known
got better with age.
Have got better with their age.
Makelele, Kante.
Casemiro.
Casemiro, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Casemiro. There was another DM, Grizz. Can't even think. But what he did with Lahm as well, man. Lahm was what 5'6". He's probably
You're talking about Real Madrid one, left-footed, elegant, who blossomed in his later days. Brilliant. The one who's famous for Man United, Redondo.
Yeah, but Redondo was class. No, there was someone after that. Come on, Grizz. I wasn't even born during Redondo's.
Wasn't it Cambiaso? Some people are saying.
Esteban Cambiaso was good. Yeah. Cambiaso at Real Madrid he was a brilliant player. Sen as a 6. Yeah, but Sen was more combative. He was always pushing forward. Sen was brilliant. Sen Makaleli in that Chelsea Mourinho's first stint. Oh, unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. How they never won the European Cup with that team, with Sen, with Lampard and Makaleli. Oh, baffles me.
Yeah, so look, people are saying that, he's not in, Kimmich is not in the Busquets league and all this business. Of course, there's levels, there's tiers, and there's generations. And I don't think Avi is either. I don't think anyone is saying that he's the absolute ready to sort of take over the world in terms of DMs. I still think Fabinho is better. I still think Casemiro, even though he's coming to the end of his career.
Well, at 32, 31.
Yeah. 30. Kimmich for me is absolutely brilliant.
He's brilliant.
But I think Rodri's, for me, definitely in the top 5 in Europe in terms of DMs. I don't know what the chat thinks about that. I don't know what you think about that.
Based upon this season, I would agree. Grizz. I think he has been. You know what? I want to give a shout out. I think another player that has impressed me, Douglas Luiz, Grizz. Douglas Luiz is another.
Why are you jumping?
We're talking about DMs.
Oh no, but we're going back. We got sidetracked because we're talking about the game tomorrow and why we're nervous about it. Like we haven't finished but it's okay if you want to. Do you want to move on?
Yeah, it's we don't have to just concentrate on the Liverpool Chelsea game.
Well, I'm a little bit nervous, isn't it? That's the whole point of it. Like I hate Chelsea. Like I'm sorry if you're Chelsea people in the chat. I love you guys for supporting the channel and you're here, but I hate Chelsea, and this is why I'm nervous about it. If we lose to Chelsea, I'm gonna be so. Oh, by the way, people, we have a watch along tomorrow. Avi, have you even told them?
We're back. I think the last time me and you both did a watch along, I think we hit some serious numbers. So tomorrow will be me and you. It will be a 8:30 start for me in the morning. I think we'll go live around 4:15. It is a 4:30 kickoff back home tomorrow, isn't it?
It's a 4:30 kickoff tomorrow.
So yeah, 4:15. We'll go live. I'll be in morning mode.
It's true, Sidney, man. Like, who cares about Douglas Luiz? This guy just starts on Douglas Luiz.
No, he's a top player. Because you were talking about top 5. You were talking about top 5, and he's not in top 5 yet. But give it another year. Douglas Luiz will not be at Villa if he's got ambitions.
I get that. Yeah, I get that. I agree with you.
At a very high level.
Fernando Redondo, so underrated. Jashar with the super chat says Fernando Redondo, so underrated. Absolutely beautiful, elegant DM, like one of those proper old school ones that you look forward to watching, But yeah, look, tomorrow. So we know Thiago's out. Who do we else know that is definitely out? We know Bobby Firmino. Now, would you have started Bobby Firmino?
I would have tomorrow. Yeah, I would have gone with Jota on and this ain't no Mane hate. I just think Mane, he's off form. So I'll play Jota off the left, Bobby and Salah. That's what I would have gone with Grizz tomorrow. I think Bobby was doing well in the first game, but then he came off with a hamstring injury, didn't he, against Chelsea? I think tomorrow I would have started Bobby. But if you're saying Bobby's out with COVID, I think he will go with the 3 that he trusts in, because I don't believe Origi and Minamino will.
Well, Origi's injured.
Okay.
So, and Minamino just
he's not hanging out for a move in January, Origi? So you genuinely think he's injured?
Can't let him go in January. Like how? Like how would that make sense in any way, shape, or form? Unless we get an offer that we just can't refuse.
Newcastle might come in, Grizz, 10 million, even though he's free on the summer.
I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't sell him for 10 million.
So okay.
Because he's not got 1 year left on his contract. People are getting confused.
Is it the way we can trigger the year extension?
And we absolutely will do that, because to protect his valuation. So we will. Can you?
Why couldn't you put today's chat on slow mode? I don't understand why you couldn't do that.
Man, I thought we have a nice, relaxed chat. You know what I mean? When people are just sick out there, we know that, innit? We'll take over some of the comments and answer them while I do this, then, innit? Give me 2 minutes.
Okay, so I think that so tomorrow. So you're saying Bobby and Allison. You said Grizz might be out with COVID as well.
Why are you asking me? I've just literally told you that I'm doing something. I said chat to. They know how to chat to people.
There's rumors today that Allison might be out as well. So that will be obviously Keller in goal. I'm going to go with Trent.
I'm not even on screen. I'm making up on my own screen. I've got to do something. You do. You carry on, please.
Simicast, because Robbo's still suspended. And then the midfield three. Jesus, who do we do? What do we do with the midfield three? We'll put Hendo, Fabinho, and I believe he'll have to start with Ox. Don't know what he could do because he won't play. He won't play Curtis Jones, so he'll go with that three, and then Mane, Salah, and Jota. Matip is what? So HJ comment here. Matip, I'm presuming that's Matip is out with COVID. Allison is out with COVID. Bobby is out. I'm terrified. Run if we play like that against Leicester, then imagine it against Chelsea. But Chelsea have got to come out to play as well. We've got to remember that Chelsea they can't afford to draw tomorrow or lose. You know, hopefully we'll see a different style and change from them because they're missing Ben Chilwell. They're missing Reece James, two of the right backs who they believe, their fan base believe, that are on par with ours. So Alonso and who would start on their right back, Grizz? Would you say? Okay, I know you're not listening, but
no, I'm listening, but I'm just not on the screen. I think it depends on their mindset.
I think he might do a madness. I think he's put not a madness, but we've seen Victor Moses saying at Chelsea. Is he still Victor Moses?
You're trolling now. So
no. Victor Moses was a right back under Conte. Is he still at the club? Was he okay?
How is Victor Moses? People kill him while I'm off screen.
I think maybe Pulisic or even Callum Hudson-Odoi might be at right back then. I think he won't go with Azpilicueta, surely not. But then it's Mane. Will Mane trouble them? That's the thing. I don't think that Mane is in the form where their right backs will be shitting themselves. Or
really?
that side. No, he's not in the form, Grizz. We know he's not in the form. You know, unless he changes unless there's something happened in training and he's got a bit of confidence. His confidence is shot to pieces. The chances that he's missed, honestly. Oh, he's at Spartan Moscow. All right, apologies to Chelsea fans. Victor Moses is at Spartan Moscow. Months times 2. Why is everyone laughing? I didn't know. I genuinely didn't know whether Moses was.
He did, people. Don't let him off that.
Months times 2. He might do something like play Saul at left wing back. Surely, left wing back goes to Alonso, no? What he thinks that he might switch Alonso to right wing back.
No chance.
Yeah, this is what I think. John Stewart with the comment. This is what I think he probably do. Hudson-Odoi might play right wing back. I think he will do that. Listen, why are people like literally? I did not know, man. That Mane central man said Moses. Literally, I genuinely didn't know. I don't know what he's doing at Moscow. Honestly, I don't know what he's still at good level. Moses was on loan with us as well at Liverpool in the 2013-14 season. Mark Samuel saying tomorrow could be a mess. No Matip, Ali, or Firmino. So Matip's out as well with COVID. So Kanate.
Who said Matip's out?
Well, there's 2-3 people who put comments on who have said that Matip's got COVID as well. So Pulisic, maybe that's what I think. He might put Oscar's 86.
I think Matip is rumours at this stage. I don't think there's anything confirmed. I think it's definitely Bobby and Allison. But I think the Matip one, it's rumours.
There's a comment.
I had heard it was Adrian, who's the third member, but it's unconfirmed.
Why would you name Adrian? Who really cares if it's Adrian? Hello.
Well, they didn't name them in it. That's the
but you're saying it's Adrian. Like, who would care if it was Adrian? He's non-existent anyway.
His family would care.
Ayub Nahidi Mane just garbage. He's done. Look, I don't want to say he's garbage. He's a legend. Sadio Mane is a legend for this club. What he's done with this club in the last 4 or 5 years, unforgettable. I just think now is a period of time, especially what we're entering the new transition, especially with Klopp only 2-3 years left in his contract, that we need to start seeing replacements in. And look, if Mane is happy to be the odd squad player and coming on, still starting games as well. I'm not saying he shouldn't be starting games. He could still start games, but we need to start seeing an evolution. We need to start seeing new signings. So that's why I say, like, we should have seen this beforehand. We should have acknowledged this last summer, because I didn't think Mane last season was pulling up any trees. Monts times 2. Tuchel doesn't like Alonso. He opted for James at left wing back ahead of Alonso against Brighton. Fair enough. I thought Brighton was superb that day. Big shout out to Conroy Talks. Who'll be on the Red Fellas tomorrow. What else is there? Grizz. I presume that's for Victor Moses. He's crap. That's why he's at Moscow. I think he's in his 30s as well, and Russia pay well, they pay good money. So that's why he's probably going. Grizz won't be going tomorrow, Shaq. He's actually doing the watch along with me tomorrow.
Yeah, can you tell him about the watch along?
I mentioned that we'll be going live 4:15 UK time, 8:15 in the morning USA time, 11:15 Eastern time in America. So it'll be a good one. I'll just have woken up. I won't be the prettiest on camera, not that I am anyway. But yeah, it'll be morning for me. A little comment here from Mo Patel. Where was it?
I can't find this, man.
Are you done with your thing? Or are you still playing around with the mods?
No, I can't find it.
I thought they were.
We're not gonna stay long anyway. If they come back again, we just mods do what you can. But yeah, so yeah, look, here's what it is. Tomorrow, I'm nervous.
Are we going with the Hendo, Fabinho, Ox midfield then tomorrow?
I'd go Keita.
Naby, okay. Naby on that right hand side then.
No, Hendo on the right hand side.
Right hand side, and then Naby on the left.
Yep.
With Simicast. Okay, interesting. And they will go, I believe, they'll go Kante, Cover in a pivot.
Well, the Chelsea people, let us know if there's Chelsea people left in the chat to let us know how you guys think you're going to set up in midfield. I suspect they're going to go Cover and Kante and drop Jorginho. Jorginho, I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. Well, who would you rather play against?
Well, I wouldn't want to play alongside Kovacic or Kante.
So you'd prefer a
Jorginho. Yeah, because I think
Jorginho in it.
I think Jorginho's had a bit of a drop off, Chris. To be honest, I think he's had a bit.
I agree, and Chelsea fans agree as well. He's played a lot of football.
I think he's had a bit of a drop off. So I don't want to play against Kante. Always plays. He plays well against anyone, but against us, he really turns it on.
So John Stewart with a super chat asks, "Where do you think the game will be won or lost, Avi?"
I think tomorrow it's imperative that our wing backs play well. I think Trent and Simicast tomorrow against going their side. If Azpilicueta is their right back, I think we can get at them because they've got a few injuries themselves. I do like Trevor Chalobah. I do like him, but I don't see him as a right wing back tomorrow. I think he will be playing in that 3. But I think the wing backs tomorrow, Simicast. I thought Simicast was probably the better performer against Leicester. Just that finer delivery, just couldn't get it right at times. But I think it'll be the wing backs because their wing backs are pretty poor. Without Chilwell and Reece James, it's a different proposition on their side. You?
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Hold on. Some people are asking, is the chat disabled? Guys, the chat's not disabled from my side. If there's any issues, let us know. If you're finding any chat, but obviously there may be some issues, but we'll get it resolved. Jaden thinks that this is how Chelsea will line up. So Azpilicueta, Chalobah, Silva, Rudiger, Alonso, I think that's pretty obvious. And then Kante and Cover, Mount, Havertz, Lukaku, or Werner. How would you feel about that?
I think Mount will start. I think his energy, he's industrious as well, and he's picked up a bit of form again, Mason Mount, especially in the last 5-6 games. I think he will start. The big one is up top. If Tuchel doesn't if he's not thought much of his comments, then you could say that he probably starts Lukaku tomorrow.
So this is the big one, isn't it, on their side? This is the big debate, but this is a big talking point from a Chelsea point of view. Lukaku.
But
wow.
do you think that might fire him up as well? That's why he might start. That will fire him up, and he's playing alongside, playing against a Van Dijk. He'll probably want to say, you know what, what I said, the comments that were made, probably translated a little bit wrongly, the way people have tweeted it out. So here's my chance to prove myself. Like, it could literally be forgotten about. If he performs tomorrow and he scores and they win, it'll probably be forgotten about within like 72 hours of the story leaking from him playing well tomorrow. But if he's not in the squad tomorrow, a lot will be said. A lot of stuff will come out, and it won't be a pretty sort of atmosphere around Chelsea if he's not in that team. And we know Tuchel, you know.
I think tactical Tommy has a massive decision tomorrow, Ravi. I genuinely think that. I think if he drops Lukaku for what we've said is a massive, huge game for both clubs in terms of clinging on to the smallest of hopes in this title race. If he drops his biggest name, most expensive signing tomorrow, I don't think that will end well in terms of their relationship and Lukaku going forward and his future. So I think it's a massive call. I can see what you're saying in terms of Lukaku will be an absolute motivated beast tomorrow to prove to Chelsea and the fans and everything that I'm here. They were slightly misconstrued. Maybe I did talk too much, but I'm ready to go again. And it could work for them. I don't know. It's a tricky one because the other side of the coin is Tuchel wants to show his authority. And he's shown that he's a quite authoritative type coach, isn't he? He doesn't like player power. He often referred to his time at PSG and the players, and he said it was a bit of a circus. And what did he refer it to as? There was a phrase he said, that he didn't like the player power there, or whatever it was. He didn't not only had to coach them, but coach them off the pitch or something as well.
Okay. Well, we know that he had issues with Kylian Mbappe. Neymar was always missing in January anyway. But that season that he did leave, they got to the Champions League final. Not playing the prettiest of football, but obviously they met a Hansi Flick Bayern Munich who were, unbeatable. But he did manage to take that PSG team with all its sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? The mess, really. Mbappe's,
the circus,
the circus. But his petulance as well. There was times when he was coming off and he wasn't acknowledging Thomas Tuchel, and we know that even Klopp hates that when a player comes off and you don't acknowledge him, he will call you up on it there and then and say, look, at least shake my hand or at least acknowledge me when you're coming off. I'm putting my hand out. Even Hendo has been guilty of doing that, just walking past the manager. And Mbappe, and it was caught on camera. But I think he gets, treated harshly, Thomas Tuchel, because he has worked with big personalities and he's still a sort of relatively a young manager as well.
He is.
And he has dealt with big personalities, and fair play to him. Taking that PSG team to the Champions League final, which no other manager has done that. And they've had better managers with a bit of sort of reputation and resume. What he did with that PSG team, is an achievement. Getting into the final, but ultimately he didn't, and he got he left the job, and now at Chelsea, it's his first sort of real test, isn't it? Especially their form as well. Going into it now, what does he do with Lukaku? I think that I know there's rumors today. Matt Law, you said from the Telegraph, has said that he's.
Well, this is it. Let me just read this out on it before. When I wanted you to talk forever, you didn't, and now that I'm here, I'm live and exclusive with you. You're not letting me have a word. I don't understand your brain sometimes. So CFC Stephen, basically, this is what we're referring to today, Avi. You're right, Matt Law, who's the Chelsea journalist, the in the know in terms of all things Chelsea, has come out today and said Tuchel is considering dropping Lukaku for Liverpool after talks between the pair. Tuchel will have support from the board, and Lukaku could also be fined for the interview. That's pretty messy to come out on the night of the game, right? What would you do? What do you think? It's a tricky one, man. He's your talisman. We don't know if
is it similar. Is it okay? It's the same question to you. Is it similar to the interview that Salah did with Dario AS?
Oh, this is what he said about his time at PSG.
He said he felt like a sports minister at PSG.
Yeah.
Is it similar? And I know it's not more damning than what Lukaku's done, but is it similar to what Salah was doing when he was kind of flirting with the idea of going to Spain, and he did that interview mid-season when we weren't doing too great, and it came out?
No.
Klopp still played him though.
No.
No. Okay.
No. Do you want me to give reasons or?
Yeah, well, of course I want you to elaborate. I don't want you to say no.
Because Lukaku's not been here 3 months. 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of a time where he's not contributed as he would have liked, as the fans would have liked. He's cost 100 million. He's just come from Serie A. Mohamed Salah is a total different beast and animal, Avi. Mohamed Salah came and ruled the world at Liverpool. So when if Mohamed Salah done that interview for tactical purposes, for the contract purposes, for, he didn't flirt with the idea. He just said, "You never know, but I'm very happy here. I want to break records here." It was a total different type of interview, in my opinion. It's two total different things here.
Look, and Salah's probably my top 2 now as all-time favorite Liverpool player. But I thought the timing last season, Grizz, when he gave that interview, was wrong as well. Just saying that, one day, not even one day, you said, Real Madrid and Barcelona are great institutions, are one of the greatest clubs around the world. Like, who wouldn't want to
play? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but especially the season that we were having, Grizz, I thought, I didn't like that. I didn't like the body language. I didn't like the way those comments were.
Did it affect?
It didn't affect it. That's why I think that Lukaku could probably start tomorrow. I think Thomas Tuchel, if they've had clear the air talks but haven't gone well, or it has gone well, I think.
But then there's the other question. So I get the discipline side of things. I get the authoritarian type of side of things. Setting a rule out that you can't just do this kind of thing. Doesn't matter if you're Lukaku or Havertz or whoever you may be, right? But then there's certain Chelsea fans that are thinking that the fluidity in their forward play is better without Lukaku. Discuss.
Yeah, but then that's up to Thomas Tuchel to change them, Grizz. When I'm sure he pressed ahead and said to Marina, or their sporting director, I think it's Marina, that Garavanoska, her name, to go and get Lukaku 100 million. You don't go buy a 100 million pound player and then say, I don't know where I fit him. Obviously, Tuchel has a plan for him. And if that plan has changed at the beginning of the season, then obviously I would be aggrieved if I was Romelu Lukaku. But if I'm a 100 million pound player, Grizz, I should be able to adapt to a certain system too. That comes back to the Pogba argument. Pogba was 90 million. Yet we're still talking now, he's never had a proper DM at United to play alongside him. I'm sorry, but when you're at the peak of your game, like Romelu Lukaku is, you need to adapt. He played with Lautaro Martinez, I'm pretty sure, as a 2 at times for Inter Milan. And they played in a wing-back system, if you see how Conte sets them up. So that transition similar to going to Chelsea. So I don't understand when people say, or when he's come out with saying it's a different system or a different approach. What was he expecting? Does he expect Chelsea to have more possession in games? Does he expect to have chances more created for him? I think if he had Chilwell and Reece James, he will have more chance to create. Because they're out now, Thomas Tuchel, and not any fault of Thomas Tuchel, has had to adapt the game, because he hasn't got the quality of Chilwell or a Reece James. Alonso's delivery, to be fair to him, he has got good delivery, but he's a bit of a hit and miss as well. This is what I mean. Like, when you've got a quality of Romelu Lukaku, you should be able to adapt, whether it's a 3-5-2, 5-3-2, or a 4-3-3. You should be able to adapt to the system. And especially when you've got the skill and when you've got the skill set of Lukaku, you should be able to adapt to the team.
So the question I want to put to you, and I'll discuss it with you as well, I'll give you my opinion as well, because it's not a question and answer session to me and you, right? Thankfully. Do you want to see Lukaku in that lineup tomorrow? Or would you be more afraid of something like a Havertz, Mount, Werner, for example, which is, I'd say, more mobile, more fluid, more dropping into spaces where Matip and Virgil don't want to go, very much like how Brighton played against us, City played against us, without an out striker. Do you get where I'm going with this? Yeah, as opposed to Virgil and Matip having someone to play up against them, which they seemingly prefer, probably.
I do. I understand what you mean about Mount, Werner, Havertz, but I would be more worried if Lukaku starts tomorrow, Grizz, because of what's gone on.
Yeah,
because there's a point to prove. Because he has scored in his last 2. Villa, and then the Brighton game he scored against 2. Like, he has picked up a bit of form. I'll be more worried to be facing Lukaku. I think Lukaku might just fancy his chances against a Van Dijk, and we can say in the first game Van Dijk pocketed him at Anfield and whatnot, but they were playing most of the time with 10 men.
Oh,
right?
he gave them as good as he got
He did.
in that
And I
opening
don't
half
think
an
he did.
hour.
Yeah, I don't think he played that bad. So I think Lukaku will want to start tomorrow. That ultimately, that decision boils down to Tuchel, whether he thinks that, okay, what's gone on has gone on, but he's a player that I can trust on the pitch, and I want to start him tomorrow against a Konate and a Van Dijk. So if I was Liverpool and I was Konate and Van Dijk, I wouldn't fear anyone, but I wouldn't want to be playing a fiery, aggressive Lukaku because he'd want to prove a point to the fans as well, Grizz. Not just himself or the manager, but to the fans as well.
Yeah, look, it does, isn't it? These kind of things always tend to have a story, isn't it? And it always ends with the person that's been sort of in the headline, so to speak. Like, I wouldn't put it past Lukaku scoring at some point tomorrow if he starts. Do you think he starts? Yes or no? Not necessarily yes or no. You can elaborate
Well,
and give context.
if Matt Lord knows if he's in the know-how at Chelsea, then I would say no, he doesn't start tomorrow.
He didn't say he doesn't start. Matt
He's
Lott, no. Did you not read it? Shall I bring it back up? Do I have to go back and bring it up? Did you not read it?
I'll bring it up. I did read it. I didn't know.
You didn't, obviously. You obviously didn't read it. Can someone put it back in the chat, please? What the exact quote was?
Yeah, he did. Considering dropping Lukaku.
Considering dropping Lukaku after.
Yeah,
so that's.
I think I don't. Yeah, I'll go with my instincts. I don't think he starts tomorrow.
You don't think he starts
I
tomorrow?
don't think so. Well, I don't know how true this is or how reliable CFC Stephen is. Lukaku got sent home from training today. Again, I don't know.
Can anyone back these claims up, please? People in the chat, if there's anything on social media or anywhere else, can anyone say that if there's an official matchday squad been announced that he's not in the squad? I'd be shocked. I'm not gonna lie, if that's the case. Like,
yeah, okay.
Well, if that's the case, I'd be shocked. Wouldn't you be shocked? It would be. That would be shocking.
Of course, you'd be shocked. Of course, you're shocked, but
I'd have him in the squad.
Can Tuchel? Okay, the question should be, Grizz, can Tuchel afford to drop Lukaku? If they lose tomorrow, it's going to come back on Tuchel. It's going to come back to Tuchel.
This is my point.
Why couldn't he swear? Why hasn't he got the man skills?
This is my point.
So if he doesn't start tomorrow and they lose tomorrow, it will be more detrimental to Tuchel. And then his job could be on the line. You know how Chelsea are reactionary.
Very.
Tomorrow, but he will be.
No, I agree. Roman is very reactionary. Roman is very temperamental. He may say, you ask for a big boy striker. I gave you, probably after Haaland and Mbappe, the third biggest striker that was on the market.
Oh, I think on form, he was probably the best striker. In those 2 years at Inter, I think he was the best striker. I'm sorry.
I'd still say Haaland.
He beat a lot of mental challenges as well. The Ibra, I come back to that Milan game when he really gave it to Ibra, and he was the king of Milan on that game, and he scored in the derby, and he got that flag. He's changed his mindset. Obviously this season it hasn't worked out yet. He's had an injury, but yeah, I think it's a hard one. Does he start or not? If CFC Stephen is saying he's not in the matchday squad, and I don't know how reliable he is, but if he's not in the squad, then obviously he's not starting. But you never know; it could be mind games as well from their side.
I think there could be an element of mind games in this.
Do you think he starts? Yes or no?
Let me read this out first. Let me think about it.
It's not a bloody.
It is a tough question. It absolutely is.
Who wants to be a millionaire? It's a normal question.
Does he start?
Yes or no? Does he start? Yes or no, Grizz?
It's not. No, I'm not. I refuse to answer just like that.
Call a friend.
I refuse to answer just like that. I need time to consider my thoughts and points.
It's a yes or no question, though.
Can you relax before I kick you off the stream? Tahir with a super chat says, if we don't win, is the season over? No,
it's not, because we're still fighting on 3-4 fronts: FA Cup, League Cup, and Champions League. And listen, we're Liverpool fans. We don't give up. Right, 12 points. 12 points. No, we don't give up, Grizz, man. Like,
no, I agree with you.
I don't want to be a defeatist, and yes, it'll be hard because City are.
No, the league.
But the league, yes, and unfortunately, the league would be a tough.
The league title, in my opinion, would be over, but absolutely, the season wouldn't be over. That's my answer to that.
Listen, if we get top 4, we win the League Cup and Champions League. Fucking
top
happy
4.
days. I'll be at that parade. No, I mean we consolidate. I don't want to say consolidate
Second.
second, but I don't want to say consolidate second because we're Liverpool Football Club. Like,
So then why are you saying we get top four?
Everyone said second means nothing. First is everything, and I mean that same thing.
So why did you mention top four?
Top four then. Okay, if we win the Champions League, League Cup, wherever we finish in the league, as long as we don't finish outside the top four, okay, I'll take that. I'll be at that parade. First week of June. Blue chip.
Repeat, because I think a lot of people didn't hear what you said. Can you finalize that statement so people can clip you up?
Make a fist of it in the league and see where we finish up, right? Make sure that we're as close as City or possibly winners, but I'll take the Champions League and the League Cup.
You take the Champions League and the League Cup?
Yeah. Champions League alone, I'll be happy days, but I want the bread and butter. Liverpool Football Club has always been based on the bread and butter, which was the league. Anything after that was a bonus.
Some people still saying they can't comment in the chat.
Okay, back to that question. Does Lukaku start, yes or no?
No, I need to know what I've done, innit?
I've got a WWE event to watch now.
Can people let us know if they can chat or not? Or how can they chat? How can they let us know, actually?
People are putting in comments.
But the chat has slowed down, so that means it's only the people that... I don't get it. Go and read some comments out while let me see what I've done wrong.
Darren Marshall, Trent is gonna cook Alonso tomorrow. Hopefully. Reds do this brilliant. Grizz is now cooking CFC. Stephen to check his ITK credentials. Lol, yes, in theory, yes or no questions are easy because there's two options, but the actual question is very difficult. Fair enough, Carl. I apologize for going at Grizz. I'm sorry, Grizz. CFC Stephen, Tuchel could also decide to let him off with the consequence of a verbal dressing down. Angry conversation. Whatever Tuchel decides, it's likely the Chelsea board will support the manager. Okay. All right. See, CFC Stephen, you've just said that he's not in the squad, and then you're re-quoting Matt Law. You've got me in knots, mate. You've absolutely got me in knots. We've got to get CFC Stephen on. Maybe he is Matt Law. We have to win as many games as possible. It's just a chopping and changing of the team all the time. It's hard to get any rhythm. Stephen O'Connor hit the nail on the head. These are why I said if we had, and I prayed, if we could keep Thiago and Fabinho fit for the last, how many games we got? How many games have we got to go? 19. We've got to win, Grizz, in my reckoning, 17 out of 19. And even that might not be enough. Can
you see if the chat's back to normal while I do this? Please stop asking me questions. Can you talk for 5 minutes?
People messaging. Liverpool have heritage in the Champions League, but very difficult to win Champions League. Yes, I agree with that. Klopp to Mystic, Free World. Look, Free World say we can comment because he's a regular, isn't he? Happy New Year, by the way, Klopp to Mystic. Mentioned by Owace, live chat won't open, Grizz. So yeah, live chat for some people is not opening. AG saying it's back. That's from Owace. He just messaged me saying live chat won't.
Okay, well it might be back, and that means the bots might be back. So if the bots come in, chat
is back, lads. Anto chill. Chat is back, lads.
All right, I know. I can read probably as quick as you. Like, why are you reading what I'm reading? Like,
yes,
reading what you're reading.
Can we have a yes or no? Can we be a bit more? Can we get
on the what? On the what?
Can we get confirmation?
On the what?
Well, Lukaku, is he starting? Yes or no?
What's your guess? What did you end up saying?
CFC Stephen's gonna get it from me. If you want to add to CFC, because he's got me on knots because he said he's not in the squad, and then he's giving me then he's putting up conversations or the article from Matt Law. I think Lukaku does start. Yes, I'm gonna go with yes. He starts. Lukaku does start. I don't think Thomas Tuchel can afford to drop him tomorrow.
I can't see him not playing him either. Honestly.
They need to win. We need to win.
Yeah, that would be a huge call. But it could turn out to be
a masterstroke.
Well, you haven't looked at that side of it. Like, if he does set his sort of stance and says, you don't fuck with me, basically, right? I'm the boss here. And they still manage to beat us. That could be the making of them.
But does Tuchel have the personality? But can you afford to say that? Can you afford to say that? I know he's won the European Cup. But can you afford to say that so early in his reign to someone like Lukaku, a £100 million player? And I know it's saying that the board will back the manager. Wait a minute. We've been there before where they backed Frank Lampard, and 2 months later, they've given Frank the sack. So I don't know where this
Yeah,
comes from.
he does this sort of time. He changes in midstream. I agree with you, Terence. He said he's not going to start now. He said he's going to start.
Aaron, I apologize. Listen,
He does this. This is what I mean. He doesn't concentrate. He doesn't remember what he said, people. I've told you this. He doesn't remember what he doesn't concentrate.
listen, I did say I don't think he starts, but now I think he starts. I don't think Thomas Tuchel.
What's changed?
CFC Steven, that's what's changed. His
why are you listening to just some?
I'm not listening. I read the.
Do you know him?
You don't listen. No, but he's putting on that he's been dropped and he's back in the squad. And Matt Law, I think he does.
One person in the chat has said that.
Tuchel has the aura about him to drop Lukaku tomorrow.
Oh, I definitely think he's got the aura about him. Avi, come on.
No, he doesn't. How can he say that? His job could be if they lose tomorrow, Grizz. If Chelsea Football Club lose tomorrow and he's dropped Lukaku, he will face backlash from the fans. There will be certain fans who will still be on Lukaku's back, but Thomas Tuchel cannot afford to drop Romelu Lukaku tomorrow.
Okay, we hold that thought. Zach with a super chat.
That's my mate. He's from LA, so big up to Zach, America.
Does Arsenal's performance... Zach, can you confirm that Avi is your mate and that you know him? Because Avi has a tendency to make people his friends when they have no idea who he is. Zach, can you confirm that you know Avi personally, please? I'm intrigued. Does Arsenal's performance... Again, okay, it's okay, he'll answer. Why are you panicking? Stop texting people to make out they're the Zach now in the chat. Okay. Yeah, does Arsenal's performance against City today give you all a bit of apprehension going into the 2 legs for the League Cup? Arsenal took it to City. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Arsenal were fantastic today. I think Arsenal will put up a show against us. I think Arsenal will have a stronger team out than us as well. That's my thoughts, Avi.
I think Arteta will be going for that League Cup. He's won the FA Cup already. He'll want to win the League Cup, and especially the way they played today, Grizz, they impressed me immensely. They really did.
Well, you know my thoughts on Arteta anyway.
No, and I like him too. I like him too. He's needed time to weed out the crap that Arsenal had under Wenger, Emery. You know, he's had to take time. But if he can work with youngsters like Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, you know, and Emil Smith-Rowe. He's got 4 talented kids there.
Magnificent.
4 talented kids.
Magnificent.
You won't find any better around other clubs, you know, with the amount of time. And he's getting a tune out of Lacazette. Lacazette today, link-up play, the way he was dropping back, playing really well. And he'll want to go for it. I do think Arsenal would want to go for it.
Back to the Lukaku chat and Tuchel chat. Mike in the World says Tuchel's ego will see him drop Lukaku. He has got an ego. He will not like what Lukaku's done, and it was pretty evident in the presser that he said it's noise that we didn't need. It's just a huge call. I agree with you.
I'm going with he starts him.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a huge call not to start him because of the level of the game. Like in terms of whoever doesn't win is out.
Theoretically, yeah, it's out of the title race, yeah.
That's crazy saying this before Christmas. Well,
19 games in. Imagine saying that the first week of January. Imagine saying that. Well, a lot of clubs, to be honest, we had sort of won the league in 1920 very early on with the run that we had, but this is something similar. You know, tomorrow's game, it's humongous, Grizz. It's humongous because
I hate losing. I hate losing to Chelsea. Honest to God, I do.
Yeah,
I hate them.
Well, this goes back to: is this because the Mourinho days or Mourinho, Rafa?
Yeah. So basically, because London, right? Suddenly some of my friends, right, during college era suddenly became Chelsea fans, right? They suddenly became lovers of Chelsea. Bit of money came in. The ultimate glory hunters. Now, people may say I'm a glory hunter because I supported Liverpool as a kid because they were winning everything. No, actually, no. I became a Liverpool supporter because of the fact of John Barnes. Literally one man. I fell in love with John Barnes. So a lot of my college mates, uni mates started thinking Chelsea is the dogs knackers, right? And became Chelsea fans. And since then, the banter or the hatred, you could say, sometimes the banter gets over the edge. My Chelsea mates know who they are. Shout out to Shami, shout out to Icky, shout out to all these people, NASA, shout out to these people that me had wars with over Chelsea. And then it's ever since then, Chelsea to me are the prime example of pure money changing them, not having any structure to the way they work, sacking managers, revolving doors.
But because if you think about it, before they won the league and Mourinho, they did have success.
Plastic. I'm
Vialli,
sorry, plastic.
Glenn Hoddle.
Chelsea people in the chat, I'm so sorry you're tuning in, and I love you guys for the respect and support. But your club's plastic, your team's plastic. Some of your fans are plastic.
It's a bit harsh. Come on, it's a bit harsh. What about the fans that have been
I
fans
think so.
during the era of Vialli, Hullet, and all that? Like they always attracted a group of Gianfranco Zola. Come on, one of the little gems that I used to love watching play. I mean, my hatred is purely because of Mourinho. When he took charge, that League Cup final, the little sign, the luring of Steven Gerrard and all the top players around the world, the way they used to conduct their business, I've hated them since then. But before then, I didn't mind Chelsea. I thought, Hullet was.
But this is my point. So before then, I loved Zola. I absolutely loved Vialli.
Yeah.
I thought Vialli was one of the most intelligent strikers of that era.
Vialli was brilliant.
He wasn't technically gifted and brilliant, but his intelligence was brilliant. Ronaldinho goal comes back at me and says, if we win the Champions League, he'll never complain again. I guarantee you will, Ronaldinho goal. But hopefully we win the Champions League and then we'll have a chance to test it. But yeah, look. And then became the flirtation with Gerrard. And you're right, the Rafa and Jose era, which I thought was box office. It was absolutely box office era. I was at the game, Avi, where not the first one, but the second one.
When Benitez sat down like that, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was at that game, and I've never seen felt an atmosphere like that.
Brilliant.
It was tension filled, man. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, man, look. Shaq says with a super chat, for me, because of Xabi Alonso, hate the way he left. What's he referring to?
I don't know. Is he referring to when Lampard done him at Anfield with the ankle injury? And hate the way he left. He might be talking about two different segments in that comment. Because Lampard did him, didn't he, in that early 2005 season when he first joined, and that's when he went missing. He was injured for like 2 months and came back. But he might be talking about that. But no, there's been some great duels between Liverpool and
absolutely.
Chelsea. Great duels.
Look, not all Chelsea fans hate me. Rishwan, I love you too, man. Shout out to Grizz, man. Chelsea fan, but love your shows, bro. I know the feeling is the history of the teams, the fact we've seen so much happen between them, anything can happen. Absolutely. Not all Chelsea fans are plastic, and just like not all Liverpool fans are. And I don't hate all of you. Do you know what I mean? The game's the game. Tomorrow, I hate it. I really hate it if we lose to them. We're gonna do a watch along. So people in the chat, if you want to switch off the commentary and you don't want to hear who's the commentators tomorrow, let me know who's the commentators tomorrow.
We've got Peter Drury and Graham Lasseau and Lee Dixon.
Yeah, I'd rather wish you didn't mention
Arlo White.
Arlo White. I'd rather you didn't mention Peter Drury as one of the commentators, because now people won't tune into the show. Thank you very much, because Peter.
American broadcasters are different to British broadcasters. You lot will have Strike Tyler and.
But not everyone in our chat's from UK.
Oh yeah.
So
listen, all the Americans in the chat, make sure you tune in tomorrow to the watch along. We're gonna have some good fun tomorrow.
Me and Avi will be doing the watch along tomorrow. If you want to switch off your commentary and listen to our alternative commentary and description of the game, I think you may enjoy it tomorrow, lads.
I might just watch it like this. I might not go back to my original. I might just watch it like this.
Of course. Well, of course. Yeah, of course. I want you to watch it like this. I find you're far more relaxed and listening and concentrating like this.
Okay.
And you far less pouting and smoldering.
Okay.
Like no one's mentioned you posing and everything in the chat, which is brilliant.
What I want to pose, man.
Yeah, look, I'm not really up to the Twitter Ronaldinho goal, man. I just want to win the game, man. I just want to win. I just want to get 3 points and just keep hope alive. Isn't it, Avi? We just want to keep hope alive, because anything can happen when you're talking 9 points, but with the game in hand, obviously 6 points potentially.
Once Champions League games come into effect, Pep, look, no matter what we say about City and the domestic cups that he wins, the League Cups and the FA Cups that Pep's winning and the league that he's winning, he wants ultimately that biggest prize of all. He wants to deliver the European Cup to the Sheikhs, to the fans of Manchester City. So He'll always be.
Well, this is the thing, Avi.
That's his goal.
I often argue that with City fans, but they think I don't. Oh, Shaq explains his comment earlier. He's supporting Liverpool because of Xabi Alonso, not a bad player to support because of. There was one chat I wanted to bring up here. Obviously an Arsenal fan, big up yourself. You've missed the Arteta chat, man. We bigged him up. We love, me and both Avi are fans of Arteta, and obviously Lucas, you know that I'm a fan of Arteta, and I thought they were fantastic today. Absolutely, it was shocking the way they lost that game. I thought the refereeing was shambolic, and it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt.
Wait! You're a Liverpool fan. Why are you saying it's hurting?
Because of the fact
you can
that
be complimentary of a manager, but you don't have to say it's hurting. Like it seems as if like you're sporting like Arsenal as well. Like it is what it is. They played well, but I'm not hurting.
Let me know when you finished.
Yeah, done.
I'm hurting because of the fact that City would have dropped points, Avi. That's why I'm hurting.
It is what
so close yet so far. Tahir asks, "Who's the ref? I hope we have a fair ref." I believe it's Anthony Taylor.
Yeah.
So make of that what you will. But the thing is, and Chelsea people, if there's any remaining after my outburst in the chat, I believe Chelsea fans hate Anthony Taylor just as much as us.
Hate's a strong word. I think people, but who likes referees these days? Who have we got? Like we've got mud of the mud. Kevin Friend, Martin Atkinson. You've got Chris. So even that Peter Walton, who's at BT Sports. Like what use does he? What use is he? What use is Peter Walton? He just waffles on his own BT Sport. Anyway.
Yeah, well, people could say, "What use are you?"
And don't get me on that coup. Don't get me on that fucking coup either. Absolutely shambolic.
Why are you swearing? You don't swear. Like, why are you suddenly getting emotional? You don't swear. You always tell me off when I swear.
New Year resolution, isn't it?
Aunties, what? Be more
aggressive. Mum's gone to sleep. Don't worry, she's gone to sleep. It's like what? She's not staying up till 1 a.m. Is she mad? Come on.
People, watch out. The bots are back, so get on it ASAP. I might have to call an end to it.
Oh, this can't be true.
From now on, I'm gonna.
What? 1 minute. This can't be true. Forget the bots. 1 minute. This can't be true.
It's Tierney. Yeah.
What? Paul Tierney on VAR.
Yeah. What's the matter?
What's the matter? Chris, Paul Tierney he's the worst referee. God knows what he's doing behind the screens at Stockley Park tomorrow. I don't get it. I actually don't get it.
Well, it's true though. It's true.
Wow.
It's true. But listen,
the decisions that he gave against us against Spurs, the decisions that he didn't give, and he's on VAR.
Well, hopefully, we won't need any controversial decisions.
I'm not being overreactionary, but that's a shocker if he is VAR. Fair enough. I won't complain. It is what it is.
People, loads of fake accounts. Mods, assemble. Let's get them out here. I promise you, from now on, the chat will always be slow mode. I promise you. My fault. I thought we could have a nice little chat. I needed some therapy. I brought on absolutely the wrong person for therapy, but I really enjoyed the chat. Tomorrow we go again. It's a huge game. People are asking, do we accept a draw? Absolutely not.
Who's saying that? Wait. Who's pulled that comment up? Who said that? I'll read this thingy. Look, my man, big up from San Diego, California, Chelsea fan here. Be nice, haha, nice. New to your stream and enjoying it. All the best this new year. Happy New Year to Scott Cadet, even though you're a Chelsea fan. All fans are welcome, so big up yourself. And San Diego, not too far away from me. Beautiful part of the country, actually. Beautiful part.
How far from you, man? Hook up with him, man.
San Diego is around a 4 to 5 hour drive from where I am.
Did you say round the corner and then you mentioned 4 or 5 hour drive?
You know how big America is? That is round the corner. San Diego's round the corner. I can get a flight, an hour and a half flight. So Scotty, if Scotty wants to link up for a game, yeah, 100%. San Diego's a beautiful part of the world, though. Beautiful part.
Okay, well, tell him to follow you on Twitter and hook up with him, man. It's true. Go, it's good for 4 or 5 hours. Look, people are saying 4 or 5 hours drive. He says around the corner.
You know what you guys have got to understand? Like driving 4 or 5 hours in America, and everyone can vouch for this. It's for us. It's like going to like Birmingham from like Berkshire. It's close. Like
fair point. I get what you mean. Listen, guys, let's see if we can hit 300 likes before we go off here. Avi, man, is there anything else? I think we've tried to cover everything else. Look, we've got the COVID cases, we've got the Lukaku chat. We've got their COVID cases and their injuries. How do you see this, man?
Oh, you want me to give a prediction now? We'll win tomorrow. We'll win tomorrow. We'll do it for Yogan tomorrow. Who'll be watching at home with his beautiful wife Sabine. We will win the game tomorrow. I'm not going to give a score prediction. We will win. We'll win.
We can't afford to draw. We totally agree with you, Tahir. Appreciate the super chat, my man. Other teams are catching up. No, I'm not worried about other teams. I'm not getting into that chat. I'm absolutely not getting into the chat of other teams are going to catch up. We've got to worry about ourselves, and we've got to worry about City. They're the only, and we've said this from the start. Grizz, next weekend it's Mane versus Keita.
Senegal versus Guinea. Yeah, we can do a watch along for that, Grizz. Senegal versus Guinea. Should we do
that? Not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout. But listen, these assholes are back in the chat. I promise you guys.
You know what? Happy New Year to the bots as well. All these idiots that do Happy New Year to them too. If that's what they want, if that's what their aim is in life, if that's their aspirations for 2022 to come on our channel, your channel, to put in comments, fair enough. Happy New Year to them. Honestly, done with it.
For some perspective,
Roman just watching it now. Yeah, he's got COVID, so he won't be in the main event today against Brock Lesnar.
Is there something that happening in the wrestling world that you?
Yeah, one of the wrestlers. He's in main event. He's a champion. He's got COVID, so he won't be in the main event today. So they've had to reshuffle the wrestling match and whatnot. Yeah,
people are putting in their predictions 3-2 to LFC. We concede a goal, then score 2 before the half. Go into the second half, score a third, and concede one at the last 8 minutes, and absorb all the pressure in the world. Wow, you've just described an amazing game, and if that happens, your watch along that you're gonna have access to on Grizz Khan TV is going to be one of the all-time great watch-alongs if that happens. People, make sure you tune into the watch-along. What time do you want to go live, Avi? Probably about 10 minutes before kickoff. Get the build up and the lineups in the chat.
4:15 your time, so 8:15 my time. Yeah, 8:15 would be good. Yeah.
Why 15 minutes early? I don't want to talk to you 15 minutes early before you brush your teeth. Can you make sure you brush your teeth tomorrow before you come on live?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a bowl of my Cocoa Pops and that tomorrow.
I don't care.
I'll brush my teeth. I'll brush my tongue as well. Yeah.
Brush your teeth before you come in. Yeah, before you come on live, because sometimes you have a tendency not to brush your teeth in the mornings. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Well, you told people my late night. I came home 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to tell people about your personal stuff. The game's the game, brother.
Someone just messaged me. Big up to Mimo, who heads the Lfc club in Los Angeles, the supporters group. Will be grilling you at the moment. So even he knows you're grilling me at the moment. Just message me on WhatsApp. But big up to Mimo. Happy New Year to Mimo, my guy.
You've got a question.
I didn't know you were a WWE. Oh, I was the biggest fan. Biggest Shawn Michaels fan that there is. There's some embarrassing stories I can tell you about my obsession with Shawn Michaels, HBK. But I think Brock will win today. I think he will beat Big E, Keith Owens, Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley. Yeah, I'm in and out now in WWE. Before, back in the day, massive fan. Yeah.
Red Steve's gone a bit serious here. If you're going to be a wanker, Grizz TV's in the corner of the internet. I choose, but it takes all sorts. Oh, sorry, he's talking about the trolls. I beg your pardon. Thank you very much, Red Steve. Thank you very much. Do you know what I mean?
Red Steve's good. He's one of the regulars.
Red Steve's an absolute legend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He's talking about the trolls, what I mean? Grizz TV isn't the corner of the internet I choose. You know what I mean? Go away, these silly people. But big up, Red Steve.
Anything else to talk about? January transfer window? Oh, we already mentioned that. We've already mentioned the youngster proposally coming to Liverpool from Canada.
Any idea what type of player he is? I absolutely know zero about him.
He's off the right or the left on the front three. He's only 16, 17. He's not. We don't see. Yeah. Look, Biren. I've not said it yet, and I won't say it. Out of respect, I won't say it. It's a New Year's resolution. I'm gonna stop saying his name, but he's the one. He's the one that we want. Well, he's the one that I want. I don't want to say anything else.
Premzy TV, Arsenal fan, big up yourself in the chat. Go check him out. He's an Arsenal fan. If Arsenal people are in the chat, go check out his channel. Yeah, Harvey's back this month as well. Beautiful,
that's beautiful. A big bonus, isn't it? That's
beautiful news. Beautiful news. Massive. A lot of people were thinking that he's out for the season, worried. I was told around November that he'll be back in January training, and lo and behold, he's back in training January. Hopefully, hopefully we'll see the best of him, and hopefully he hasn't had any effect on him. Wow, how good was Harvey Elliott at the start of the season, Abby? We were blown away by his, and we were. It's not just hype for no reason. It was actually, he was actually performing at an extreme high level, right?
He was look, he was integrated into the squad. He must have had a great preseason where Jurgen thought, nah, this kid's ready. He's ready, and he thrusted him into the Chelsea
Some huge games.
game. Of course. And listen, he did extremely well. He was that Leeds game, Grizz. I'll come back to it, and it's unfortunate because he got injured. But how good did he look alongside a Thiago and Fabinho in that midfield? Brilliant. We were so good that season. That game. And we just hope that he hasn't lost. I tell you what it is at this stage, when you get an injury like that, it's a mental thing, Chris, more than anything. You just hope that he believes in himself, and he just he trusts his ankle, he trusts his body, because youngsters cancel when they have a big break. We saw it sort of Ryan Brewster. He never got to that heights before that big leg ankle double break that he had. He was a pacey player, and he never got that pace back, unfortunately, and he had to refine his game a little bit when he went on Swansea.
I hope that doesn't happen for Elliot, man. Absolutely. Some people asking about certain players. Let's go through a few thoughts on Anthony from Ajax. Anthony is the ultimate maverick type of player. Wow, the guy has technical skills that
this season.
Hey,
he's picked it up this season, but again, Grizz, you know what? I'm very skeptical when it comes to players from the Dutch league now.
We discussed that, didn't we? We discussed that, didn't we, on a previous show, in terms of how many players of recent times have been a success in the Premier League.
But then some would argue that he's not Dutch, he's Brazilian, But there was a lot of hype about David Neres as well, and since he's been injured, he's not.
Ziyech, look at Ziyech.
Ziyech.
Didn't Sebastian Haller come from? No, he's gone to Ajax.
Haller came from Germany. He's gone to Ajax, and he's ripping it up. And he's a great talent. Don't get me wrong; he's a great talent. But
is he still a talent? How old is he? Can people let us know very quickly? Do a bit of a search.
He's young. He's very young. He's young.
Yeah, I don't think he's 21, 22 anymore. But I know
he
may be. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But he's a fantastic talent. He is. He's got skills oozing out of him.
He's 21. Yeah, exactly 21.
In that case,
22 in February.
Yeah, people are talking about his output being better. But again, I agree with you in terms of the Ajax league. Premsy asked, well, what do you think about the Arsenal performance today? We've discussed that, my brother. We thought it was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic. But I did tell you when I came on your show to do a stream, just trust the process. Arteta is a quality coach. Let him work his, not magic, but let him work and try to make you look competitive, because that's all you can expect. You can't just suddenly become 7th, 8th, and then think you're going to challenge for the title. It's got to be a gradual process.
And if he collects a couple of cups along the way, Grizz, all right, the FA Cup, the Charity Shield is not notable, but picks up the League Cup. If they beat us and they pick up the League Cup, the progress is there.
Absolutely.
They want to the ultimate aim is to get into the top 4 and then challenge for the league, but that will come in time. You've got to sometimes go backwards, so many years backwards, before you get to the top stage. Look, we were the perfect example of that,
But Arsenal fans have got every right to be slightly impatient. They have been waiting for a while now. But
16 years it's coming up to
exactly. Kaz asks, what do you think about the Bukayo Saka rumor? I wouldn't think too much of it. I think we missed our moment when he was thinking about signing a new contract with him. That was the time where we did push for him. We actually
isn't he? Klopp's a big fan.
We made a very good offer for him as well. But it's understandable that that's his club and he signed a new contract. I think our best chance of gone for him. This is a bloody good question. Martinelli or Saka?
I've tracked Martinelli for a while when he was on trial at United. For me, Martinelli's he's going to the top, very top. Had a nasty injury, come back, taking him time. I thought Arteta at one stage didn't fancy him, but he's a brilliant player. He can go either way. He can cut in the inside on the right, or he does trust his left foot as well. Even today, he had that chance with his left. Like, he's brilliant. I think Martinelli, for me, I prefer Martinelli. But look, Saka's a talent as well, of course.
I'm still Saka. I'm still Team Saka. I think Saka is brilliant. Yeah, man. But St. Maxim looks the next man. I just crying for a big team. But I fear that Newcastle could be that big team for him now, Avi, especially with the ownership and the investment. It could work two ways, right? They could bring in stars that pisses him off, and he thinks, wow, I worked so hard for you guys. Now it's my time to shine. You're bringing in player XYZ. Or it could be a case where Eddie Howe says, yeah, bring me XYZ, but I want to keep St. Maxim as well. So that'll be one to keep an interesting eye on, right?
Yeah, no,
I love him.
I wouldn't take him personally for Liverpool. I think he's a bit hot and cold, and maybe that's because the level that he's playing at with Newcastle. Grizz, you know who I want on that left-hand side. I won't repeat it, but yeah, he's scored a great goal against United. I just think he has too many hot and cold moments. He needs to have more hot moments with Newcastle.
One last push for the likes, people. One last push for the likes. Hopefully we're over that 300 mark, which is fantastic. Hope you guys enjoyed our just spontaneous little stream we thought, because, you know, I texted Avi, I said, I hate the night before playing Chelsea. And now hopefully I've explained why. It's just because, you know, growing up, they were very successful, and my best mates around me were all suddenly Chelsea lovers. So they tortured me. We had our moments, though. We had our moments against them. We know the 2 semi-finals. We know the League Cup. No, the League Cup, they done us, didn't they? We dumped them out the FA Cup, didn't we?
2005, they beat us in the League Cup final. We beat them in the semi of the Champions League. The next season, 2006 FA Cup semi-final, Luis Garcia, Risa scores. That Luis Garcia volley, wasn't it? And then 2007, we meet them again in the semis of the Champions League, which we beat them on penalties. Dirk Kuyt, I think, got the winner. Then they beat us twice as well. Remember, they beat us twice as well in the Champions League quarters, I think.
Yeah, hated that.
Well.
They battered us in that one.
In the 2008 and 9 is where they battered us. Like Anfield 3-1, I remember.
Ivanovic scored, didn't he? That was disgusting. I hated it. It seemed like that, and Dico. It seemed like we played them every other weekend. Cup games, Champions League, on top of the league games. But look, tomorrow's going to be exciting. I think tomorrow's going to be tense. I think tomorrow's going to be obviously pivotal. We'll have a better understanding of where we are after that game in terms of the league title race. Hopefully we put on a show tomorrow, guys. In fact, I'm not interested in shows when it comes to Chelsea. I just want to win, Avi. I don't care about the performance tomorrow. I just want 3 points, absolutely. But guys, this has been a spontaneous I can't sleep before the Chelsea stream. Please like, subscribe, all of that stuff before you leave. Hopefully we've kind of not put you to sleep. I don't want to hopefully, be the ones that have put you to sleep. But I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I certainly feel a little bit better. I think I may sleep now. A couple of more minutes with Avi, I should be falling asleep anyway. But hopefully, don't forget, tomorrow we'll be live and exclusive on GrizzCon TV for the watch along. Join us for that. You will see our great team put in a performance and a win against Chelsea. Avi, if there's nothing else, hit that intro and we out of here, man.
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow.